I wonder what you first think of when you hear the word church. Is it the building that we usually go to that we've not been allowed to go to for such a long time because of COVID-19? Or perhaps it's a denomination, the Church of Scotland or the Baptist Church, a group of people who do things in a particular way that's different maybe from other groups of people who are doing things in their own particular way, a denomination. Or for some people, it describes a career choice. We talk about going into the church when, in fact, they're describing a call to ministry. So the church becomes their career choice. Maybe you've got another word that comes into your mind when you hear the word church. But when the Creed asks us to say, I believe in the church, it doesn't mean any of these things. And when the Bible describes what the church is, it doesn't mean any of these things either. Here's a little children's rhyme that for me sums up a lot of what the church is. Here is the church, here is the steeple, open the doors, and there's all the people. There you go, you can teach that to somebody else. But for me, and for the Bible and for the Creed, the church is people. People of God, the people whom God has loved, people whom God has called to love and to serve and to follow Him. And the church in the New Testament is always a group of people who meet together, who worship God together, who serve Him together. And somehow we've lost that sense, I think, a little bit along the way. And the church has become other things or other descriptions. And we've forgotten that at its heart, that is what the church is. The building is the place where the church meets. And the church can meet in all kinds of places, as we've discovered on Zoom. The church is the people. But the Creed describes the church in two ways. It talks about the church, first of all, as holy. And that maybe brings with it a kind of idea that we're saying that we are better than everybody else, that somehow the church is holier than thou, and that somehow we have arrived, that we are a perfect people, the holy church. But in fact, the word holy simply means that God has called us, and that we belong to God, and that we are a people whom God has called into existence and called us to faith and called us to serve Him. And we are a people like everybody else, with our faults and our failings, with our good points and the mistakes that we make. And very much we are a work in progress in terms of the kind of people that we are and the qualities that we have that God wants to make us better people. So to say that we're a holy church simply means that we're a church that God has called. And the other word that the Creed uses that confuses us perhaps is the word Catholic. The Creed asks us to say that we believe in the Holy Catholic Church. But the word Catholic just simply means worldwide or universal. So to say that we believe in a Catholic Church means that we believe in the church right across the world. The Christian church is not a Scottish thing. The Christian church is not a British thing. The Christian church is a worldwide, God-given enterprise of faith. And there is a church now in almost every nation of the world, a group of people who worship God, who trust in Jesus, and who express their faith in the same kind of ways as we do, but in their own way, in their own expression of that faith. And we're perhaps not very good at having that sense of oneness, or having that idea of belonging to this great worldwide enterprise. We are often very focused simply on ourselves and our own place and our own congregation, without that sense of the bigness of the whole church. And so the Creed is right to challenge us to say that we believe in a church that is worldwide, across the world. Jesus is the cornerstone of the church. He is the one who gives us our life. He is the one who guides and leads us. He is the one who helps us in all kinds of ways. He is the one who gives the church its life and its shape. And so we need to keep our eyes fixed on Jesus. And as a church, the challenge for us is to learn to be a church in the way that Jesus wants us to be, with the values, with the qualities of life that Jesus teaches us and that Jesus himself embodies. Jesus is the cornerstone of his church. And if we lose our connection with Jesus, then as a church we lose our life and we lose our power. We are a people whom God has called. We are part of a worldwide people of God. And so we're right to say that we believe in the church.